How's it going, folks? So Freedom Call just released a brand new single. They're releasing a live album in July, and I believe that this is the only new studio recording song that's going to be on the album. But I'm stoked for anything new. Freedom Call. They're actually one of the first power metal bands that I started listening to back in the day. So they'll always hold a special place in my heart. And I've liked a lot of their material. But the name of the song is The Metal Fest. So yeah, I'm looking really forward to this one here, folks. So without further ado, let's give it a listen, shall we? Rangers, go. I love that bagpipe sound. I don't know if that's being done via keyboard or actual bagpipes, but it's tight. I dig it big time. You know, this song, it actually really kind of grew on me as the song went along. And that kind of tends to be the case with Freedom Call because I'm a big fan. I've loved them for a very long time. Like I said, one of the early power metal bands that I started listening to, one of the first ones. And, you know, a lot of times they're just fun. You know, they just have fun songs. And I found after the first, handful of albums, there's some that I love. But the first song by them that I just absolutely loved was Land of Light. I just love that song. But, you know, they Freedom Call is very Freedom Call, and they're always going to be very Freedom Call, very recognizable. They have their own style, their own sound, and part of this could just be nostalgia and whatnot, but just hearing the voice and the music and just the very Freedom Call sound, it, it it's a comfort kind of, it's a comfort because I spent so much time listening to a lot of Freedom Call back in the day. So there's just something nice about that. I have to say right off the rip. Some of their later albums I found to be a little bit more hit or miss. There was it started to feel a little bit samey to a degree. Like, they weren't quite necessarily as creative as maybe some of on the earlier albums, and they did more kind of like fun songs and stuff like this, just kind of cheesy. They've always had kind of a cheesy sound, which I love, I dig, but sometimes it would just get to be maybe a little too cheesy as far as the style of the song or the lyrics and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of Freedom Call, and I love a lot of their work. And just hearing them, it just, like I said, it's a comfort. As far as this song itself, it kind of falls in. There's like three categories of Freedom Call for me. There's one of just songs that I love. I just love. They're really cool, like Land of Light and stuff like that. Then there's ones that I'm just not too fond of. They just feel a bit standard fare or this or that. And then there's the ones where at first they are still kind of like standard fare, but they grow on me, because maybe it's because the band, it just has an infectious quality to them. And I don't know, they just their sound, they just have a nice kind of fun, positive sound usually for the most part. And it can be infectious. So sometimes there's songs where I'm kind of thinking, like this song, Case in Point. I was really jiving with it at first. I really like kind of the choir, the chanting, and all that stuff, and that the guitar melody. It almost has a little bit of a pop punk kind of vibe to it. I could hear like Sum 41 or Blink 182 doing something like that. So that was kind of nifty hearing that. I love when it was done on the keyboard though. You could really hear that like kind of in the bridge when it's all kind of building up again and stuff. But and as it went, at first like the chorus it's fun. It's a nice melody, but I was kind of like I was a little iffy on it. But as the song went, it kind of grew on me more and more and more. So by the end of the song, I was really just kind of enjoying myself and enjoying the melody and even the lyrics for the most part. I mean, Freedom Call is back. I mean, you can't beat that. But the whole it's a M.E.T.A.L fest party, all that stuff, rising, what have you. You know, it's one of those things that it's really cheesy, and maybe that's why at first I wasn't 100% on board. But as it went, it's just fun. It's just fun, and the melody is fun, and like I said, it's just very, very infectious. I like the music. The music again kind of has just a cheery, kind of uplifting vibe about it, and the vocals. I've always loved the Freedom Call vocals, just really, really solid, and they just have a distinct style and a distinct sound. And I don't know, it just it's infectious. And again, part of this may just be nostalgia, but I just like hearing the band and that style. I mean, it's Freedom Call. As far as the song, if I had to really kind of critique it, yeah, I mean, it definitely does not break the mold. It's quite just safe. It's just kind of just a fun sort of party power metal song in a sense. Fun live. I could see this being really, really fun live. But it doesn't set the world on fire, and it doesn't even really add anything too much, I would say, to their discography, to their legacy and this and that, because it just very very somewhat simple, but nice melody, nice musicianship. I love the keyboard and the bagpipes, and the vocals were really great, and all those things kind of combine in their own style and way that the band performs and plays and delivers the music and all that stuff. It just, they have something about them where they can even take kind of just a silly kind of somewhat basic, straightforward, simple song and still make it enjoyable. And I guess it's just that they have like this spark about them, and it just comes through in the music. And like I said, they can take a song that's somewhat straightforward and just make it fun and kind of bring a smile to your face. I don't know. Again, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's bias and nostalgia, but I will say, this song, it sounds like a lot of other Freedom Call stuff I've heard before, very similar structure and melody even and all that, very straightforward. But at the end of the day, it was fun. It brought a smile to my face. Did I love it? No, but I liked it enough. And hey, Freedom Call is back, and hopefully they're working on a new studio album. In addition to this live album they're releasing in July. Hopefully we're going to get more material here soon, especially them saying Freedom Call is back. I wonder if that's a nod to like, yeah, we're going to be working on some new stuff here. So that'd be really, really cool. But anywho, that's my thoughts on this one here. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. How long y'all been listening to Freedom Call? Are you Freedom Call fans like I am? And what do you think about this song in particular? Let's talk about it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time. Ranger.